as I counteracted this anxiety with the calmness,
Yeah.
I was like, wow, it's not that bad anymore. And I'll be honest, the feeling I thought was, but it is bad. And I knew it was bad before, and now it's not bad. So does that mean I was wrong about it before?
No.
And part of me didn't want it to go away, because then it meant maybe I was wrong in the past by thinking it was so bad. And I'm having a hard time letting go of that anxiety. Is this what a lot of people struggle with, letting go of something that's a constant in their life that always gives them that dopamine hit?
Okay, so you've described it beautifully. So what's happened is you're recoding this. So this is something that went on in the past. Now the thing is, if a situation was bad or a person was bad to us, we need to remember, it's the old John Kennedy thing, forgive them but never forget their names, right? So the point is, we don't want to, even though it's happened a long time ago, we don't want to still be living in it. This is the problem with PTSD, post-traumatic stress. People are still in Iraq, still in some terrible battle theatre with things going on, even though they're back home, right? So what we want is all the learnings from that. So if somebody was mean to you, or if something, crisis happened, you think, I'm not going to let that happen again. You want to keep all of your ability to protect yourself. You just don't want to be living in it. So what was happening there was, you had a part of you going, well, stress, and then the part went peace, and you went, well, it's calming it, and then you went, hang on, we don't want to just get rid of it all. What I would say at this point is, and again, this is in the trance that comes with the book, is you keep all of your ability to protect yourself, you keep all of your ability to do all the things that serve you well, but you just don't want to live in unnecessary stress, unnecessary fear, unnecessary worry, etc. So, I'm not saying to people, somebody said it to me this morning, actually. I was being interviewed on television, and they said, but what if, we just get rid of that edge? And I said, oh, no, you don't get rid of your edge. In fact, when you're super stressed and anxious, you're more likely to make bad decisions because you're reactive. You're not responsive. In fact, rather than just be like this white knuckles to life, you go into relaxed alertness. So you're in an optimum state to deal with everything. Yeah. And so I would say, when you think about that thing now, how does it feel? Not what it felt originally, not what it felt earlier. Yeah. And now actually I can see also that it can be calmed and tamed. Yes. And now I'm actually losing respect for it, So, which is good, because now it's like, well, why did that ever bother me? Yeah, that's right. So I think this is one of the things that, I used to have an argument with somebody on a Friday afternoon, right? A 5-minute argument. I could make that last all weekend. I'd be, hey, shut this stuff, like, literally, and I suddenly realized that's my brain running me, not me running my brain, right? Now, is there something that I've missed? Why is my brain bringing this thing up? Sure, I feel hurt, I feel upset, I feel disrespected. Right, so this guy is now coded as, someone I need to be careful around. I know I want to be around this person, right? But he's living rent-free in my head, So these are ways to control, how we think. At school, we're taught what to think. Believe this, believe this, believe this. Yeah, sure, that's useful, if you're learning history or something. But I'm more interested in how to think, because very few people understand. They think just because there's an internal dialogue, they have to listen to it, or just because they're making movies inside their mind of all sorts of terrible things, they actually have to watch them. You can learn from them, but you don't want, you want to be running your own brain, not your brain running you.
Right, because you can create your own movies in your brain.
Exactly.
And design them exactly how you want them to your ends. But if people do feel a little bit of because people get used to these anxieties and used to these worries, and they're almost always there, and it's a constant in their life. And so should people beware that when doing these exercises, when they buy your book and go through it, that they might feel like this sense of longing when they're giving one of these things up, to let it just be like, no, that's normal, let it go. Is that something that can happen?
Yeah, if you suddenly took all someone's fear and worry away, they might in fact, I've done this, and this is what happens. They go, oh wow, I feel so relaxed. They go, hang on, I don't want to be this relaxed. I need my fear and stress, because it's a familiar friend. So the way I do it is incrementally, and we call it ecologically, right? So that means that you still have all of your ability to protect yourself, but without the unnecessary fear. And I'll give you an example. A phobia is a good example of a one-trial learning. You get bitten by one dog, mistreated by one dentist, stuck in one elevator, and the mind goes, right, this is a threat. So when any stimuli reminds you of the original incident, the smell of the dentist's office, or the thought of getting in an elevator, whatever it is, you produce a fight or flight response. So you don't have choice there. You don't go,
Is this a trustable dentist? Is this just an elevator? You just go, so you've less freedom. So what I do is I work on the assumption, this is one of the presuppositions of NLP, that all dysfunctional behaviors, no matter how dysfunctional, have at some level a positive intent. So a phobia, the intent is protection. It's just overdoing its job, right? If I'm a self-saboteur, I find myself, getting into a relationship because, early on in life I'd been heartbroken, and I thought, crikey, I'd find myself meeting someone, it'd be going well, and I'd sabotage it. I'd kill it early on, because the relationship, that is. Because I would think, I can't, because the part of me was going, we've been here before, we're vulnerable, we're going to get hurt, so it was just finishing it off. Yeah. And I see this with, all self-sabotage is basically self-protection at some level.
Right. So it has a good aim, but it's getting you the wrong results.
That's right, yeah.
So look for the positive and then deconstruct it.
Well, you can. The thing is, thinking this stuff through isn't, this sort of like CBT approach. I'm not a fan of that, really. I'm much more of a programmer, right? So my approach is that you talk directly to the unconscious. And that's where the hypnosis comes in. So I put somebody into a trance, I talk directly to their unconscious mind, and I say, I know that this dysfunctional behavior has a positive intent. It wants to help you. And I'd like it to find 3 other ways to achieve the outcome, giving you the protection or giving you the whatever it is you need, right? Because we don't need to know. And when it can do that, tell me yes, lift a finger, yep. And now try those new ways as an experiment, boom, and imagine what it would be like. And suddenly, the person has moved outside of the limitations of their old survival strategy. And, these things get formed early on in life, first 7 years usually. Experiences of emotional intensity. Be quiet, no one wants to hear what you have to say. Right? This is why public speaking is the #1 phobia now. Because you stand up in front of the class, you read out loud, someone points out your mistakes, and people laugh. There's your training course in fear of public speaking. I remember there was a guy I worked with years ago, and he'd said to his mother, he goes, when I grow up, I want to be successful, And his mother said, you don't want to be successful, son. Those successful people, they have heart attacks. And that had gone into his brain. And see, the unconscious mind is not logical. It's purposeful, and its purpose is survival, right? So when he started to get successful, his unconscious would go, and go, success equal heart attack, sabotage. And in those days, I was an old school hypnotherapist. This is a long time ago, back in the 80s. And I went, let's regress you and find out how this happened. There you go. That's why I pulled that belief. Now you don't have to have that anymore. Nowadays, we don't need to do that. We just go and say, find new ways to which there'll be no objection to you fulfilling all the positive intent of your saboteur, of the part that holds you back, or of the part that causes you distress or dysfunction.
So Jim Rickards has just recorded a video that's not available to anyone in the public, and he's going to be talking about how this upcoming recession is going to be fast, it's going to be bloody, it's going to be nasty. But at the same time, he's going to show you how you can position yourself to profit from all of this chaos. Now, we've made this video only available to our viewers. Go to londonreal.tv/Jim. Watch that immediately. I can't say enough good things about Jim Rickards. He understands the global economic system better than any guest I've ever had on London Real. His predictions are almost uncannily true, and you can learn how to profit from his vision, from his expertise, and his understanding of economics. So go to londonreal.tv/Jim or click the link below. It's an excellent, excellent look on what's going to happen in the future and how you can position yourself to profit from that. Jim is one of the best in the business, one of my favorite guests on London Real, and he's very, very good at predicting the future and showing us all to profit from it. So click the link, and I hope you enjoy. The greedy bankers are about to do it again. In 2008, they crashed our financial system and nearly bankrupted the entire global economy. Then they received trillions of dollars in government bailouts. And after, they demanded fat bonuses paid for by you, the taxpayer.
It turns out the banks haven't just been screwing the American taxpayers, they're also screwing over their investors. Turns out the banking industry is the worst place you could put your money, despite enormous taxpayer bailouts.
Now the bankers are back to take away your financial freedom. They lie and tell you that cryptocurrency isn't safe.
They try to make it illegal for you to choose how to invest your hard-earned money. They lie and say cryptocurrency is used by money launderers and criminals. But look at the record. It's the banks themselves that launder hundreds of billions of dollars every year to the biggest criminal operations in the world.
Leaked documents have revealed how some UK banks have helped criminals, money launderers and Russians under sanctions.
American authorities discovered that the Sinaloa cartel moved $881 million through HSBC accounts as bank officials turned a blind eye to the illegality.
The bankers lie and say cryptocurrency is not a real investment. Meanwhile, the smartest CEOs in the world are buying billions and billions of it. The truth is that banks lie about cryptocurrency because it makes them scared. The banks take $9 trillion per year of your hard-earned money, and they are worried that they will finally be exposed. They're scared because crypto means they can no longer control your money, which means they can no longer control you. They are scared because you might actually understand your money and intelligently decide what to do with it. Now is the time for us to come together, fight back, and take control. It's time to educate ourselves, our families, and our communities. Because financial education means financial freedom. We know that cryptocurrencies will help us build the new decentralized financial system of the future. A banking system that is of the people, by the people, and for the people. A banking system where access to finance is a fundamental human right. A banking system that is free and fair and welcomes all humans on this earth. The DeFi revolution is happening. We, the people, can no longer be fooled. We choose to take control of our finances. We choose to take control of our freedom. We choose to take control of our future. Join us, and let's take back our financial freedom forever.